guys, welcome back to another video on what if Sophia survived in The Walking Dead. So let's get into it. We'd start off by seeing a face-off between Rick and Tomas after Tomas just brutally murdered Big Tiny. And Tomas would cut off the silence saying, "What? He could have been infected. That helped us out. Maybe if he wasn't infected, he would have killed us all. I saved us. What do you look so mad about?" And Rick would just reply with, "Let's keep moving up." And Rick would tell Tomas to open one of the doors out of the two. But Tomas wouldn't listen, and instead he'd open both doors, allowing all the walkers in at once. And Tomas would swing the walkers at Rick, but Rick would move out the way. And the walker would land on Andrew, who was standing behind Rick, and he'd get bit on, literally on his head, on his face, and blood just starts dripping everywhere. And the walkers would eat up Andrew, and Rick and the group, they don't pay attention to this. They're just focusing on finishing the walkers first. And by the time that the group are finished, and after the group are done killing all the walkers, Shane just gives Rick the stare. And Rick would understand what this means. And Rick would look over at Tomas, and they'd both face off. And Tomas would say, "Things happen, man. I just had to throw him off of me." And Rick would reply with, "Yeah, things happen." And Rick would go in to swing his machete at Tomas's head, but he'd barely miss as Tomas would move out the way, and Tomas runs off. And the group would run after Tomas, but eventually they'd lose sight of him as he goes in this room with zombies filled in it and stuff, and Rick locks him in there as he closes the door on him. So everybody assumes that he's probably just dead. And in this universe, Michonne would still leave Woodbury. So the governor tasks Merle to take Crowley, Tim, and Garchulio with them to hunt down Michonne and end her once and for all, so she doesn't end up becoming a problem for them in the future. And during their search, Michonne would lead walkers towards the four of them, and then Michonne would take the opportunity while they're distracted to attack them. And Michonne jumps off the tree she was hiding in, and now she's behind Tim and Crowley. And she chops off Crowley's head with her katana, killing him. And Tim would rush towards Michonne to get a shot at her, but eventually Michonne would just impale through Tim with her katana. And meanwhile that's happening, Merle and Garchulio are taking care of all the walkers, and they'd see Tim and Crowley dead on the ground, and they'd see Michonne standing in front of them. And Merle would immediately match up with Michonne, and they'd both start fighting, and Merle would get the advantage on Michonne as he proves to be more dominant. And Merle knocks Michonne down to the ground, but Michonne kicks Merle while she's on the ground, and she'd make a run for it. But while she's running, Merle would be able to land a shot on Michonne, and Michonne would be shot in the leg. And Michonne would just not stop at all. She just keeps on running and running and running, but eventually she'd come across Glenn and Maggie, who are on a supply run for more formula. And in this universe, Lori's baby would have already been delivered, because Tomas wouldn't do anything like how Andrew did. I'm not saying he's gonna not do something while he's still possibly alive, but I'll just say that the baby got delivered in this universe already, and Glenn and Maggie are out for formula for the baby. So Michonne would hide from Glenn and Maggie behind a car, and she'd just watch Glenn and Maggie just loot up the store, I think it was. And meanwhile that's happening, Garchulio would be arguing with Merle, and he's like, "We have to go kill her. What do we tell the governor?" Merle tells him that she isn't right in the head, but she's shot and she's headed straight to the danger zone. She's gonna die. We messed her up pretty bad, and whatever we tell the governor is we killed her. What the hell do you think? We're gonna tell him, of course. Garchulio says he's gonna keep going and he isn't gonna stop looking for her. And Merle tells Garchulio that they're gonna go home. Merle's gonna get Garchulio a little drink, and things are gonna be all fancy. No problems after that. That's it. Garchulio would tell Merle that he's gonna keep looking for her, and he doesn't care if Merle comes with him or not to help him, but he's just gonna keep looking out here, and if Merle tries to take the car they came in, he's not gonna let him, as he's gonna use it to find her. And Merle would look at Garchulio and he asks, "What was your name again, kid?" And Garchulio would reply with, "Garchulio." And Merle would say, "Garchulio, hear that bird?" But before Garchulio can respond, Merle just straight up kills him by shooting him in the head. And guys, that'll be it for today, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed. And before I end the video today, I just want to tell you guys why I haven't really been posting recently. It's because I just been like really busy and stuff, and like there's been a lot of projects at school and stuff, so I just had to get done with that, and now we're gonna be getting back to posting. This was just like a slow, small video, but trust me guys, the next video will be the average length of our average video. So, bye-bye!